Now we get back to what I started with, which was the reason that I got seduced into using IntelliJ. I'd heard about IntelliJ. People have been raving about it, and this was 2003 when I started. Remember, so it was a long time ago. It certainly IntelliJ certainly was not as established as it is nowadays. They only had a commercial version. Nowadays they've got the community edition as well, which is free and open source, and you can use it for production code. But I don't recommend it. I recommend you use you buy the ultimate edition because it is better. But in those days we only had the commercial version, so I downloaded it. I tried it out. And after my 30-day trial was up, I bought it because the Analyze saved me so much time and effort. It was just beyond belief. I'd never seen anything like this before. So let me show you what you can do with it. So here I've got my project that... I'll get rid of this now. Go away. Right. Here I've got my project that someone wrote. I won't say who. And I want to analyze this. So I'm going to click right, analyze, inspect code. Inspect code is now taking the default configuration, the project default. I reset all the inspections, so it's going to just look for default stuff. Okay, and now it goes chugga, works for a while, and it's quite fast. I do a workshop where we look at 300,000 lines of code, and it does a pretty good job of actually figuring out what's going on. And it shows me a whole bunch of things that could be changed or could be improved. For example, fields can be local. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to compile the code, right, to make sure everything compiles. Then I'm going to change stuff and see whether that breaks anything. So for example, this OK button here, OK and cancel, these can be converted to local variables because they are only used inside the constructor, they're never again. So I think if they're even used at all, I don't know where they are used. They are used, but they're not used. They're used inside the create bottom panel. So they're not referenced outside of the method. They don't escape the method. So there's no reason to actually make these as fields. So if we go back to the inspection results, we can actually say for these fields convert to local. We're done. Just done it. More fields. Okay, clear, cancel. It's the same thing again. And we can see where it's actually used. Again, you've got buttons, clear, OK, which are configured inside a method called create bottom panel, but they're never used again. So there's no reason to keep them as fields. And for all of these, there are the examples where we've got fields, for example, line group. I don't know what that is, but all of these can be converted to local variables. So I'm going to be brave. I'm going to just say, yeah, just do it. Just convert to local. Now, I actually did this with the code, but I checked it really carefully afterwards. So you can't just in general do this. Now, let me try and compile it, see if it still works. And it seems to still compile, which is good. And what you need to do is after you've done that, you have to run it again, because sometimes the inspection doesn't pick up all of the errors or all of the problems, and it actually finds additional ones once you run it a second time. I'm not sure why that is, but it just is. And there are lots of different things like declaration redundancy. Declaration access can be weaker. Now this is a really good one. For example, this class is never seen outside of this package. Because it's not seen outside of the package, it can be made package private. We're done. Same with this class. Password frame is never seen outside of the package. Now it's package access. And so by making everything package as private as possible, package private, we are actually making the code easier to maintain, because I don't have to worry so much about who's using this class. If it's only visible within that particular class, I don't have to think about other usages outside of that class where it's being used. So that's very handy. We'll try and compile it again to make sure it still works. They haven't actually broken anything yet. And it still compiles. Of course, I'm not actually running it, and I don't know what the unit test or whether the code would run if I had a database. This is very old code. It also needs some hardware to really make it do its thing.